Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good evening all dear viewers. Welcome to my show. This is your host Hussain Mahmood bringing you live debates on UC TV. Many thanks for all the support and encouragement so far. Please continue to like, share and comment on our media content being published and subscribe to UC TV for ongoing notifications. We've completed 15 episodes so far and we're certainly getting closer to understanding why we are not yet seeing British South Asians getting into top flight football. All episodes are up on demand on my Facebook fan page Sportstalk TV and UC TV YouTube with the green logo. Watch, like and share your views. We are breaking the mould and making the change happen. The topic we're pressing needs attention, so Sportstalk provides a platform to give our youth hope and added intelligence on and off the pitch so that they can advance in their developments across all areas and break through. Diversity, equality and a fair qualification system being my number one agenda. We've learnt so much so far and I've brought people who have shared their knowledge and experiences ranging from coaches, referees, semi-pro players and the management teams. We are most definitely getting closer to breaking the mould and making the change happen, so please do keep involved. I need you and we need this change to happen because one man can achieve great things but a team can achieve incredible things. Power of the people. Alongside myself today we have my guest who started playing early as a 9 years old for his school team and continued playing until late in his amateur career, playing regularly in Burnley leagues and various other teams like Whalley Range and Bangtop. So without further ado, let's bring in my guest, Mr. Malook Hussain. Assalamu alaikum, Malook.
It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on the show.
No.
A real pleasure to have you. I'm all right to call you Mal.
Yeah, just call me Mal.
Fantastic, Mal.
No expletives, no, just Mal.
Mal, yeah. Top man. Thank you very much once again. It's going to be great getting understanding how we've come from an era and then the middle era and now where we are today. So Mal, do you want to just tell us a little bit about your early career in terms of football and getting into football? What interested you more?
Absolutely. I mean, seriously, as a kid I used to kick a football around the park like every other kid did. But I started playing competitive.
So you kind of had this passion for football.
Yeah, right. We all did. That's all we had. We didn't have anything else. We didn't have PlayStation or anything.
No, absolutely not. No,
we didn't have mobile phones or anything like that. All we had was football.
All the distractions of nowadays.
Yeah, so that's what we did. So we started playing. I started playing for Mount Pleasant in Cletley Moors. Final year of junior school. That's where the football happened.
Okay.
There were no leagues in them days. You know, like there are junior leagues now.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
You only played on Saturday, Sunday league. Yeah, you played at school.
Yeah, that was it.
School.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you played, you got selected for school. You were the best 11 in your year, playing the best 11 against any other school.
Okay.
And same with Northern County, played there as well. Then
we always kind of get selected because I know it's pretty tough in there. A lot of lads do want to get in, don't they?
Yeah, and schoolboys as well. You know, so this kind of stuff. But I think one of the things that really sort of got me fired about playing. But every game you played, there was no weak teams.
Okay. Yeah. You were
the best 11 in your year playing the best 11. Like Moorhead, you're from Moorhead. Moorhead.
Absolutely. Yeah. Moorhead High School in Accrington for me. Yeah.
You know, so we played these teams. So during those days, there was only about 3 or 4 of us who played. There was me, there was Nasser Butt, I think I mentioned to you.
Yeah, from Accrington.
From Accrington. Yeah. Jimmy Khan, brother Massam, and he played as well.
Is it Jimmy Khan, Joed Khan?
Pakistani international.
We had Joed Khan, Jimmy Khan on there. He's currently the PFSA tutor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
his brother, Danny Khan.
Yeah.
He would play for Darwin.
Excellent.
You know, these lads are playing back in the day in the mainstream leagues.
And they're the British South Asians.
British South Asians. Yeah,
it's kind of a handful of players at that time.
There was only a handful, and we didn't have these Asian teams and Asian leagues or anything like that. You played in the mainstream leagues.
Right. Yeah. So there's no like kind of sub teams or
sub teams or stuff.
No
like
ego playing as such.
There were.
You've got a lot of Asian teams kind of competing within themselves, losing sight of the actual competition.
Picture.
Yeah, the mainstream kind of thing.
The mainstream where you've got to actually really perform.
You mentioned a few names there, Mal. Mohammed Lachi.
Big Latch,
as they call him.
We call him Big Latch. I mean, he was a bit of a monster on the pitch.
He weren't the biggest guy either, was he?
No, he wasn't. But I tell you something, there weren't many people could win a header against him.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm hearing this a lot. Smaller guys are getting up there, aren't they?
He was, and I met Lachi the first time. I was playing for Accrington. There was an Asian league then. They just started. I was only about 17, 18.
Okay, yeah.
You know, they started playing for Aki Unity.
Yeah, I do remember Aki Unity. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We had Nasser Bot. There were Nad was quite young then. Pervez Ali from Accrington.
Accrington as well. Yeah.
So playing with all these Accrington boys, and we played Wally Range at that time. I mean, Lachi was on the pitch. I didn't know that. Actually, we both went up for an header. I managed to get it in front of him, score the goal, and this is what he said. And his own opposition were shouting at him, "How dare you let him score against you?"
Oh, yeah.
I was like, how dare you? So he just said, don't worry about it. He's my guy. We're from the same village actually, and I didn't know. There's sort of little stories. We had a laugh, we had a chuckle about it afterwards. Kind of stuff. And that's when I got to know Lachi, Hadji, all the Blackburn players. Yeah.
You're from Blackburn yourself?
No, I'm from Great Talwood.
Oh, you're from Great Talwood, yeah. All right, okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Great Talwood.
Oh, excellent. Hence why you obviously went to Norden.
Yeah, I went to Norden, then went to Accrington College, then played for the Accrington lads, played the seven-a-side. The AstroTurf, the Accrington Sports Centre, that was the first
Hindburn Sports Centre.
That was the first AstroTurf pitch.
But brilliant
football. Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course. I played a lot of football there myself. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant pitch for grazes and burns.
Absolutely. You've seen the graze on the pitch.
If you want any burns, Accrington's the pitch to get on.
No, seriously, it was. You came, you were bloody.
You used to come on bloody, literally elbows.
Elbows, So when that league actually, the first season that league started, they started a seven-a-side league there. And I was only 17 there, playing for a team called Stevenson's.
Okay, yeah.
And we won that league that season. But in saying that as well, there were some absolutely amazing sides in there. Stanley used to have a side in there. There were many semi-pros from Great Talwood that played in that as well.
Because you had the Iraqi reserves teams playing as a seven-a-side.
Yeah, they used it as a training session.
Yeah, as a training ground, as a training session.
So you're playing against these class players.
Yeah, Aki was one of the kind of early starters for the league. Unfortunately, Aki never really pressed on as such, or unfortunately for.
But I think Blackburn did. Then they had Witton Park, pitches there. They were
double pitched out.
Double pitches on the back, and they were a better sort of like 3G system compared to the Aki one.
Yeah,
you remember?
Absolutely.
The sand used to come up at one side.
I do remember.
You're running on it. There'd be divots in it and stuff like that.
So what was the kind of standard at that time, Mal? Because I'm trying to understand. Obviously, this is going back some years now, right? So
standard was really, really good. I must say, that the Accrington League standard compared to maybe, people might say I'm biased, but the Accrington standard was higher than the Blackburn.
Just in your opinion.
That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I played against these players. You're playing against Aki Stanley players. These are some pros you're playing against. Yeah. There were no weak sides.
No, there's pretty good outfits then.
They were physical.
Really physical. Yeah. You're right about that. I think it's an Accrington thing or what is it, but it used to be really, really physical. Yeah. And them tackles were crunchy.
Aki Unity were the same, Sham, do you remember Sham? Big Sham? Big goalkeeper.
I remember
his brother Sham.
Yes, Sham, of course.
He was built like a bull.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, seriously.
Of course I remember.
You just looked at him and he scared you.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, I think his son's called Shiraz.
He's a good player as well. Yeah, he's a left foot. I'm sure he's a left footer.
He's a left footer, a bit of both.
Yeah.
He's sort of a really ferocious shot.
Yeah. I played with him years ago. Not years ago, when I was a lot older.
I had the pleasure.
I saw him play. I thought,
I definitely had the pleasure of playing with them guys. And this is what I'm trying to understand really, Mal, is previously we had Schwab on the show from Asian Image.
Bank Top Boys,
Bank Top Boys, and he was telling us about, I was asking him about, his top 11 asides, top 7 asides, because he was a journalist, editor and column. I thought it's fair to ask him his opinion from over the years.
Yeah, everybody has an opinion.
Yeah, and one thing I learnt from Schwab was really, he was telling me about Canaries. Yeah, 7-a-side team. Imran Akuji, who's also been on the show as well. Shout out to Imran Akuji. Them guys went on to play a tournament, and I've kind of been stricken since he's told me this, and this is why the Sportstalk is kind of a learning program for us all, creating awareness. Yeah. But them guys went into you have to get into a tournament, you have to qualify to get into a tournament. And these guys at Canaries, a bunch of 7 lads or
they won a national tournament.
They were winning national tournaments. So when I'm talking about British South Asians getting to top flight football. I mean, what's your opinion? I mean, you're saying the standard was there. You mentioned a few lads from Accrington. You played with them, and from the feel I'm getting, you enjoyed playing with them.
We enjoyed playing.
Yeah, we enjoyed the standard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where are we kind of? Where do you think our misfits are there? I mean, why?
Well, I mean, it's just an opinion. I mean, what I've seen with tournament sides and winning, Whalley Range, we went to a 15-minute side. The tournament, that's what you play.
Whalley Range, you played at, and we had a picture up on before, with yourself in it as well. I'm sure
like
our guys will get that picture
tournaments
back on
are totally different. Teams.
There we are, Mal. That's you. Some days back.
Well, that blooded
beautiful
knee,
hair.
Blooded knee again. Oh yeah, I had great locks.
Good man. Don't mind me joking about the hair and that.
Look at me now. Come on.
Cal Easy doesn't quite like me for them jokes, but nevertheless, there we have it.
But yeah, the bloody knee.
I can see. You had a bandage on that leg, and then you've got bloody knee over.
That's why we played.
Yeah, where was that game, man? Can you remember?
I actually remember that game, and if you do, there's pictures of Asif there. He didn't play the game. I think he had a hamstring, and it was a cup game. And we played so many games. I always knew that we'd been in a game if we'd had bloody knees.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Yeah. You knew you'd put a shift in.
I'm sorry, Mal, I'm laughing because I've come back with so many bloody knees.
Yeah, but you put a shift in.
You put a shift in.
Yeah, you put a shift in. That's what you did. And going back to the tournaments are one aspect of football.
Yes, it's a different type of football.
Strategy, different strategies.
Yeah.
Different, it's completely different to playing 11-side, 7-side, or whatever. You're playing 50 minutes like we were. I mean,
you're going in, you're hitting the floor.
We were there to win.
Yes, and whatever it takes to win. Hence the bloody knees and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We put that last year. Each one of the players would do it as well, though. They'd give you 100%. As soon as that whistle went, our mindset changed. We were there. The opposition.
Was it like letting the bull out?
Yeah. But no, seriously, it was. No, we even went to a point like we play against friends, like bank top. We're all friends, we're all.
Yeah, absolutely.
For us, it was like, right, that's it. On the pitch, you're not my mate. You're just in my way.
Yeah.
See,
however, I hate to admit it, but that definitely was your mentality.
Yeah. After the game, we'll shake hands. Everything's forgotten.
Yeah,
everything's left on the pitch.
Happy days.
But we were competitive. We did it to win.
Yeah, but that leads me. You're right, Mal, and I'm learning that a lot more as the series and the episodes go on. And my viewers can watch it all online on demand as well. Shoaib mentioned you being a fantastic player. I may mention and he said you was a warrior type player.
I was only as good as the teammates around me.
Oh, you're humble.
No, seriously.
It's nice to be.
No, but the fact is, the amount of effort they put in made me look good.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
You get all the work they did off the ball, running, everything. One man doesn't make a team, does it?
No, absolutely not. You could have a superstar.
Superstars don't win your team. It's your team performance. We played as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, and team play is absolutely essential.
That's it. Absolutely.
Have to understand that. I think, especially our youth, even if you are a superstar and you feel great within yourself, you've got to be able to fit in, right?
No, you've got to fit in, and so in some instances, I mean, I played for so many years. I played in Watford, played in Luton, played pretty much around the country as well. Every time I was played with Luton boys, played for the Watford boys.
Was that just you, or as a team against?
No, it was me. I moved down there.
All right, okay.
But that also gave me, in fact, I made new friends through football.
Yes.
I go to a new area, and we have something in common. Football.
Once again, coming back to my viewers will know that I think it's actual. I feel as though football is a language.
Absolutely.
Once you're on that pitch, you kind of the ball does the talking.
Yeah.
And you kind of know where your players are and how they play, and you're pinging it without even seeing them. Exactly. They're just in the belief that they're there, and you've got to be part of that.
Yeah, you've got to be part of that.
To feel that.
Yeah. And I think one of the things about, especially some of our teams that I've seen play, they're all very critical of each other.
Okay.
On the pitch.
When you say critical, what?
If they make a mistake.
Too high critical.
Yeah, just we should pass it. It should be at my feet.
Just shouting.
Just shouting. Not encouraging. And that's what Whalley Rage never did. We didn't.
Right. Okay. If the case of just jumping on the back with
we'd never do that. If we made a mistake, and even if it resulted in a goal, it was a team's fault.
Okay, all right.
not the individuals.
So you Wally Range guys for the team had this kind of ethos.
Yeah, this mentality.
You know what? Get off his back, stop. You know, because it does. I mentioned this before on the show as well. But and Shaquille and Saldocki was here, and I asked Shaquille actually. I said, Shaquille, if there's something that you would change within Bolton United's outfit in the whole team setup, what would it be? And he said, I would stop the loud guys from shouting at me all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that is a factor, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because it kind of throws you off.
We communicated on the pitch. We didn't shout at each other. We communicated. We'd let the players know, oh look, he's behind you. You know, cover yourself. You know, so. And then we had Big Mo in the nets. I mean, you know, he was like a foghorn. Yeah. You could hear him from the other. You'd hear him from the other town.
Keepers just seemed to have this super vocal box.
Box is like, you know, it's like, and then you know.
They even shout at defenders when the ball's right.
Yeah, you know, he was never satisfied. He was never good enough. But that's the way we played. It was fun. You know,
so definitely encourage rather
encouragement,
than
absolutely, and a little bit of knowledge, little games I've played, you pass that knowledge on.
Yeah, you pass it. Would you say that teams kind of should leave it to the captain to do the shouting?
No, everybody. No, it's everybody's responsibility.
But not too much shouting.
Yeah, no, not shouting. It's constructive shouting, letting people know where they are, what they look, go up there. You know,
because you've got to talk, can't you?
You've got to talk on the game. You've got to talk as a team.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it only takes 2-3 seconds window, and the opposition can break through, can't they? Really?
This is the other side to it. I mean, we didn't actually play as we. Let's put it this way, even if Bangtop, we played against Bangtop, John Cutprice were an amazing side. If you collectively individually scored those individual players, and you scored our team, there would be higher marks compared to...
all right.
Where
individually scored,
accumulation, their score would be higher than ours.
Okay. If you were point scoring.
Yeah, if you're point scoring, but as a team... You know, these Wally Range boys, like I said, they gave you 100% straight off the mark, and sometimes they'd even make good players look mediocre just by the sheer effort they were putting in.
Hard work,
commitment,
cutting that area, cutting the yards down.
Yeah, cutting them down. You know, so you're not giving them any space. No space. And that's what determines really good players as well. Is can you actually play under pressure?
Absolutely.
When you've got somebody snapping at your heels.
Yeah, and then your touch has got to be bang on, hasn't it?
Your first touch, and that's the other thing we used to proponent about. Our basics were right. Yeah,
were you training? I mean, how were you getting your basics right?
Well, the thing is, it comes through knowledge. I mean, there were some good players. We passed our knowledge on. We weren't saying we were better than you. Well, no, do it this way, do it that way.
So you're kind of coaching at the same
you're coaching on the pitch, kind of stuff, and saying not this position and that position, but you know, stand your ground, don't go straight on them. You know, square. Go side on. Yeah, that sort of stuff. Basics, that first touch has to be. You've got to kill the ball straight away. Oh, the passing, even the passing. Ping the ball into, don't just gently hit it. Ping it in.
Pinging it in,
it's up to him to control it.
You said that, Mal, but it sounds easy, doesn't it, pinging that ball?
No, but it is an easy game, no. People make it more complicated than what it is.
I appreciate you saying that, my friend, because I've spent so much time on the pitch and I've said it's always simply complicated.
Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it? It's one ball and it's about passing.
Exactly.
But you know, if you get players nowadays, I say nowadays, but some players that I've played with, and maybe it's a factor that I don't know, but I'd be keen to kind of take your view on it. Is they've kind of put their head down and want to do the whole thing, and they want to be the whole team and represent the whole team. I think they're kind of going around.
Well, they're
going the long way around it. Yeah. You find that if they kind of stay stationary, know where your players are. Yeah. Ping it like you say.
Yeah, ping it straight in.
A ball. Surely a ball can get there quicker than a man can.
Let the ball do it. It'll do the work.
Let the ball do the work.
It's basic stuff.
Yeah, but it's simple.
Yeah, simple. You don't have to make 20, 30 yards.
It should be simple.
Yeah, so you don't have, you can run 5 yards. All you have to do is find the space.
Yeah, percentage play, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And possession.
Yeah, keep the possession. Because if your opposition ain't got the ball,
they can't hurt you.
They can't score, right?
Yeah, but when you lose possession, you win it back as quickly as you can.
Yeah, but that's where you've got to, like
That's
you
a
said.
whole team.
Yeah, is that the pack of wolves? Is
Yeah,
it?
that's then the wolf comes in. Yeah,
Is that the gladiator
Yeah, no,
story?
basically we hunt them down. You know?
You make sure you keep
Make sure,
your eyes on the prey.
Yeah, we've got the eyes on the prey. We're putting them under pressure. You know, and at the end of it, teams will just kick the ball out.
So passion is definitely there then.
Absolutely, that's what got us through. We weren't the best team. Seriously, we weren't the best individual.
Gifted, talented team.
You know,
like you say, if you're point scoring in your position, it's about unity.
Yeah, unity.
Yeah, cohesion, like you mentioned.
Cohesion. Every player covered each other.
Yeah, so you're all singing off the same hymn sheet.
That was our strength.
You're not creating gaps, and are you? You've got to have that belief within yourself and trust within your players that you're going to kind of get there. Well, there's something interesting that Khalid mentioned previously on the show. Khalid Isa.
Oh, Ismail.
Ismail's son.
Goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper.
Yeah, really good keeper.
Yeah, he's got beautiful kind of curly hair. And
stuff. He has more than me. Listen, don't rub it in. Let's not rub it in.
Carl, I'll see you soon, my friend.
Yeah, go on.
He mentioned something that happens kind of on grassroots level.
Yeah.
In terms of internal players, and I kind of wanted to pick his brains on it, and he tried to answer the question, and I said, look, Carl, what is it? What's happening within our outfit, within our boys? And he said, look, I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's a lot of internal politics and a lot of how can I say it? Critical.
I think it's become political, hasn't it? Really, I mean, they brought politics into football, which really doesn't, you know. It's about having chartered clubs and all that sort of stuff that's come into it. You know, we're about to cover it. But as far as grassroots, especially young people's football, you know, under 10s and under 11s, if you see agents, how many Asian parents are out there watching their kids?
Not many, man.
If you see an English side,
yes. Yeah, and then
the parents are there.
You are kind of getting
the sisters and the dogs there.
No, they all that the whole family. They've got scarves on. They've got
scarves on. You know, thermals. The whole thing.
Thermos is up. Yeah. Cup of teas are going down.
So how many Asian parents do that?
Unfortunately not. I mean, why is that? I mean, because surely we love our children. Surely we love our. You know, there's no fault in that. I mean, surely we're keen for our children's progression.
Yeah.
Is it that we're not?
That's that support. You know.
Is that some? Everybody needs that support. Even as adults, we need support. We need encouragement. Absolutely. We need talking to and stuff like that.
It's almost like you've got a babysitter for a couple of hours, or let's kick the kids out. You know, they're going to play football.
Yeah.
No, you know.
Bit of free time.
A bit of free time. Train. I'll send them off to train.
Send them off. When they get back, they're like, put your shoes down, get in the shower,
then get to mosque.
Get to mosque. How did the game go? How did you play? Did you score?
Did you score?
None of that. None of that's happening, is it?
No, none of that.
Why do you think? What kind of, in your opinion, of course, I mean, it's a good subject, just in your kind of opinion. That's one of the things.
Personally, I don't think they value it. Secondly, is that
you don't think they value it as
a professional,
or as as they push kind of academics and masjid and the mosque and stuff.
But that's what it generally used to be. You know, what are you doing kicking a football? When we were kids, what are you doing kicking a football? You know, parents would say that. You know,
what are you doing? What are you running on that? What are you running after a ball?
The fuck you throw then. You know, why are you getting your legs broken?
Of course,
or whatever, coming back hobbling and stuff like that. What's that going to get you? Education.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think it's mainly because of that? Is that?
It's because of that, but again, I think...
I mean, there could be many reasons, Mal. I mean...
Yeah, no, let me be a bit controversial as well about this. Our kids aren't hungry enough. It's hunger. I mean, nowadays it's so competitive. The game has changed so much since we played when we were kids. It's evolved in such a way. You've got to look at those things as well. Okay. The physicality of players and all the other stuff that comes out of it. And I used to have arguments with my brother about this sort of stuff. But one thing we did actually agree on is that what they did, they had good, talented footballers, made them into athletes. Okay. Now it's like athletes making into footballers.
That's an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. I do understand
it's that. It's more the physicality. Can they run 100 yards or whatever in 10 seconds or something? It's not about your footballing ability. There'll be some really good Premiership players there, you know. But at the end of the day, they've got nothing up there. You know, the final ball isn't there. These are athletes. You know, they're not natural footballers. Whereas if you get natural footballers and turn them into athletes, it's totally different player. You get a totally different player in that situation.
Yes.
And with our kids, like I said, they're not hungry enough. They really aren't hungry. It is competitive.
Okay, yes, it is definitely competitive.
You know,
we're definitely learning
these
that.
academies,
There's levels within levels, and then when you get to the top
yeah.
level, you've got real tough competition. It's difficult.
But you're also competing with the players in the academies as well.
Yes.
You know, your own players on your own.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're just as hungry as you.
Yeah, but they are if they've got that.
You've
hunger.
got that, yeah.
But
this is where you like I said, you've got to play. Just natural talent doesn't. It's not going to.
Just raw talent is not going to get you
unless
over
you're a
that.
Messi or a Ronaldo. You know, that exceptional talent.
But I'm sure they themselves have gone through academies and they have to.
We still got to work on it.
They have to work on it. But that hunger does exist for them.
Yeah, but why are they not?
They're just not. Do you think there's maybe a factor that, you know, when you see lots of Asian players already in top flight football, and then you're a player, you think, do you know what? I'm cheating on, like we do Ronaldo, or we cheat on Alan Shearer from back in the day, all the superstars. There's not a shortage of them, are they? And if there was a Mahmood or a Malook, excuse me, or a Hussain on the pitch, and the youngsters growing up, because there's a lack of them Asian players already in top flight football, it's hard to kind of follow or set the precedent, so to say. Well, and do you think that hunger doesn't exist because there's no kind of visionary goal as such, or no one to follow as such?
Well, no, again, it comes down to all. When you start lumping teams into each other, like, you know, you have just have Asian leagues. You know, you get kind of that really doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
No,
because you kind of. You're kind of competing on a level that doesn't really don't fit.
Yeah, you don't fit really. All you're doing is playing against your mates.
Yeah.
Even if the opposition's your friends.
Yeah, and then you get enough of that.
Ego boost,
ego.
Like, you know, kind of stuff. Yeah,
I've done great today.
Really good
against 12 of your best friends. And then when you kind of go on the grassroots circuit, when you go to you know, back in their school of excellence or the academies nowadays, and then you kind of realise how kind of. How short you are, or how far from par you are, really.
No, exactly. You know your limitations, right? Know your strengths, know your limitations, but work on your weaknesses.
Yeah, work on your weakness. Not only just highlight or talk about your strengths. Surely it's what you go back to the SWOT analysis, right? Your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities and threats within yourself. And I think our Asian players maybe are taking out. Maybe I say this, I don't know, I'm just trying to learn myself really and trying to create as much awareness as we can, but we're not focusing on the threats or the weaknesses as much as we're focusing on strengths and opportunities. Are we really? And how do we turn that around? Matt, I'm just going to pause you there for a second. I'd love to ask you that question and how we turn that around. Dear viewers, we have to take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum, good evening, welcome back all dear viewers. This is your host Hussain Mahmood, bringing live debates on UC TV. Today I have my guest with me today, Malook Hussain, aka Mal. Once again, I wanted to just ask you that, my friend, just before the break there, that how do we kind of turn this around for our youth today? Coming from your experiences from, you've got some good experience there from back in the day, and seeing the football game evolve for our Asians nowadays, being more dynamic and stuff. So how do we kind of instill this hunger for our youth, and how do we kind of work with that hunger and make sure that that drive stays within, that they can go on to achieve?
Yeah, but there is an issue there somewhere. It's not the lack of talent. It's not, for a lack of talent.
Okay, so that's fine. We could tick that box, can't we? Raw talent exists within our Asian outfit. We've seen that.
How do we harness that?
How do we harness that? Absolutely.
That's the key thing, and it really actually comes down to coaching, management, motivation, psychology. I still keep harping on about, psychologically, we won the game before even we've gone on.
Absolutely. Half the fight is
before
the fight.
Yeah, it's in your head.
Yes.
Yeah, and that mentality. So it's multifaceted. It's not just about your football. It's about your diet, what you're eating, your physicality, and the psychological sports psychology that comes into it. But belief. As well.
I think that all wraps up to the belief.
It's all like you take a holistic view then about an individual player, not just his ability to be able to kick a ball.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right. And that's how we harness it. We work on each of them areas.
And you don't just work with them as a team, but as individuals.
Yeah, absolutely. It's catered to the specific, kind of bespoke to that individual. And that kind of goes the same with the training, the position where they play and stuff like that.
Kids can play too much football.
Okay,
you can train too much.
Fatigue
section. I mean, you've got to remember these kids they're still developing.
Yeah, that's the point.
So
if they're pushing themselves a little bit, kind of too far out. Could have
adverse effects. Really.
Adverse effects. Yeah, absolutely.
Because some of them play that much, they might play for academies, but they might play 2 or 3 games a week and train as well. They're burnt out by the age of 15, 16.
Yeah, then you've always got your best friend calling you down for the local. Aside from all that stuff,
then you've got all that as well.
So when it comes to match time, they're kind of fatigued, they're kind of burnt out and stuff. Not just only physically, but mentally as well.
It's Dutch style of football as well. The Dutch way. I mean, they didn't play competitive football up to the age of 11, 12. They just played for fun. Just knocking about, easy. Be comfortable with the ball. That sort of stuff.
Kind of absorb it, enjoy the moment.
That kind of thing.
Rather than pressure high, top level pressure.
Yeah. And the worst ones are the manager. They're the ones who want to win. They're not bothered. Sometimes it's not really. They're not bothered about the kids. They just want a trophy because their team won it.
So their hard work can be recognised rather than the individual's development, growing up, staying injury free. Because some of them, kind of ligament injuries, them niggles, they could last for a while, can't they? They kind of never really go away. So do you think it's the case of recognising our youth's hunger? And then seeing whereabouts he is along that chart.
On that spectrum of where he is and what we need to do to bring him along.
Yeah, and then working them areas. So it's kind of recognising.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned psyche as well and sports psychology and stuff, would you say that youth at that age who are hungry?
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned that they're not as hungry and that's why we're not seeing British South Asians, which... that argument is quite compelling. It certainly is at this stage because we've not seen the results, aren't we?
Absolutely.
So we're discussing this.
I think one of the things is, really good, good players, whatever, are the ones who relish playing against better teams and better players.
Well, yes, because it's better competition. Breeds the best results.
Absolutely, and it shows your mettle. It shows how good you are.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to touch on, that psychological factor. Do you feel that every youth is comfortable and confident to kind of speak out? Because, man, I'm getting to this age. I've got a few whites in my beard.
And I had loads. I've seen it on the photo. Father Christmas, like
that was a stern look.
That was on Game Face. By the way.
We are.
That's on Game Face.
I tell you what, if that's the face you've got,
that'll fry this. That'll give you nightmares.
I'll tell my manager I've got a hamstring injury. That's the pitch you play with. But is every youth, is every child as confident? And like I say, I'm at this age now and I can kind of speak up freely and knowing life and all the journeys of life, and you kind of get comfortable once you get to a certain age. But by that time, you kind of it's like the old story goes: when you've got the beans, but when you've got the teeth, you ain't got the beans. But when you've got the beans, you ain't got the teeth. So do you think they kind of we're not catching them early enough, or the youth of today or previously are not really outspoken enough to kind of sort that psychological factor?
That really actually comes down to the managers and the coaches to do that. to actually engage with them.
Yes.
And have these discussions.
Sure.
Why did they do this on the pitch? Why did he back off that? What was the reason behind it? It's a rational way of looking at something. You're not berating them for not doing it. You want to find out why.
Yeah.
Eliminate
the root cause.
Yeah.
Get to the root.
Get to the root cause. Why did you do it? It could be lack of confidence. It could be this. But the fact is, you can build confidence into kids, given the equipment and the tools to be able to
do it. Yeah.
You've got to do that. You see.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
that's
you've got to be able to
the adult, the so-called professionals who were doing the coaching and everything. That's what
at the time. Yeah,
that's what they need to do. Not just throw 7 kids or 9 kids on a pitch and say, "Well, you play." And
is there anything from a youth? But I understand. I get you. I actually think that's an excellent answer. I think it's in the management and the coaches. Kind of job really.
It is.
Kind of moulding and mentoring and making sure that the thinking's on point. And
they have a duty of care to them as well.
Yeah, duty of care, absolutely. That's what they're there for.
That's what they're for.
That's what they're there for.
If a kid's, even in a game, and if he's maybe frightened or whatever, that's a psychological issue. You don't want that child to be frightened on a pitch.
No, absolutely not.
That's wrong.
He's operating 25% confidence if he's frightened. If that.
Yeah, that's totally wrong.
Sure.
That's almost like emotional abuse in a way.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
To that stretch.
Yeah, so you could take it that stretch. Well, You've got him playing against
because you're putting him in his shell, and he's not really expressing himself. Because surely expression, brings about character, brings about style, and you've got performance, brings about more good performances, and then the rollerball effect, really, snowball effect. But in terms of kids, what kind of message would you give, or what kind of, if our youth are watching today, which I'm sure they will be, how do they come out? How do they kind of go to the management and say, hey coach, I'm struggling with this, or hey coach, how could I work on that? Is it something within the youth that
it actually really still again it comes down to the coaches having that relationship with their players.
Yes, yeah, okay.
And the players should be comfortable to be able to approach. So look, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not comfortable playing against that player, or whatever it is, whatever issue it is. It could be any issue, but having that approachability.
Yeah. Being available.
You're being available.
Yes,
you're not the stern manager on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you get some really tough managers, don't you?
I don't want to speak to him.
I'll take my problem to my best friend in the science class.
Yeah, and these are what good managers do. Be able to recognise these kind of things as well.
Great.
But then knowing you can have an open and honest discussion with your players about their performance. Not being critical, but saying, you did that. Why did you do that? That's not like you normally. Sort of you pick up. You should, as a manager, you should be able to pick up on the performance of the players on the pitch.
Yeah, you should body language.
Body language,
80% of communication.
Non-verbal communication kind of stuff. Understanding the slouching, the head down, all that sort of stuff.
Or they're not carrying the ball; they're just pinging it straight away as it comes. Yeah. And then he's not comfortable.
Yeah,
something's
not comfortable.
up.
So this is up to the adults as managers to do that. We can ask the kids. But the fact you've got to create that environment for them to be able to do that.
Yeah. Again, is that where parenting kind of comes into it again, Mark? Because a parent is obviously going to recognise straight away if his son is on point, and if that matters son or daughter, really. He's playing on point, and then they're probably approaching the coaches and. Letting the coaches know. So it's like a three-way conversation.
It's a three-way conversation. You're not what is it? You're seen and not heard. The old adage. That doesn't work in this environment, sort of thing.
Okay, great. Mal, I'm going to touch on something else as well. It's a little bit controversial, but I think...
Oh, do you like controversy?
It's good for viewers.
Yeah,
it's good for counts.
But it's also phone calls going on.
The thing is, I know you've had quite a career, alhamdulillah, in your amateur career, and you probably, obviously, most already know that we've not really had a sports talk programme.
No.
We've not really had a platform where we can discuss the controversial aspects of it, what's happening backstage, on and off the pitch. Yeah. And you mentioned before psychology, and it's very important, as a matter of fact. I totally appreciate that. Politics. In our British Asians, I mean, come on, let's be frank. There's a fair bit of politics in our houses anyway. Or if you go to the masjid, there's a bit of politics there. If you go... even if you park up at a car park with 10 cars, there's a bit of politics there. Yeah. Do we naturally have a way to find ways to be political rather than kind of focusing on the agenda and the outcome or the mission statement as such?
No, you're right, actually. It is. But then again, it's that element of politics it comes into it that well, this is our team, this is our, kind of, this is what we've done. And then there's some other teams. There's no actual sort of communication between opposition teams and managers and say, look, you've got some great players there, we could do, let's do some training sessions together. And, just collectively just get together.
Yeah, mutual
respect
cause,
as
mutual
well, respect for each other.
Mutual outcome.
Yeah,
mutually beneficial outcome.
Yeah. That is more likely to achieve the results you want than saying, well, we are on this side and you're on that side.
And then you're causing kind of conflict because you've got castes as well.
The teams we used to play, we used to have Bruce Bazaar, we had Cockneys. I mean, these are all caste teams.
Okay.
The Angel where we're all one casted. Yeah. That sort of thing. And so I mean, that's how it was. They're all like family members and friends and stuff, from back home from the same village. Like I said, me and Ledger used to play. We're back home from the same village.
Okay, and when it works, it works.
When it works, it really works.
But when it doesn't quite work,
no.
I mean, we really got to stop that, right, Mark?
Well, no, definitely. I mean, Woolley Range wasn't. There were Pakistanis, there were Sikh lads. We had a mix.
Okay, so that's a nice mix.
Yeah, we all played. We did. Your football spoke for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've always thought, to make a great dish, you've got to have many ingredients.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And to kind of put on a great show, you've got to have kind of diversity in character. And each person's character kind of reflects the way they play the football as well.
You bring something. Everybody brings something to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what kind of collectively makes a style of playing. But we, unfortunately, I previously learning with Colin's show as well that this internal politics is really bringing us down at the moment.
No, it is, but to be quite honest with you, I haven't been involved in football for about 7-8 years now. So I don't know the current entirety of whatever, how malicious it is or anything like that, or how I don't really know that. So I can't really comment on that. I do know you don't bring politics into football.
Yeah, keep politics out of football.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, Mal, just moving on a little bit then, in terms of top flight football, Woolley Range players at the team that you had there, would you say any of them, including yourself, had the potential or capability to move into top flight football? When we played at school, we got scouted and that sort of stuff, because that's the only place you played at scouts and came and watched you. So the ability was there. But in them days, the sports LFA and all, there was about 35 years ago. This happened about 35. They were saying, why? This question's already been asked. Yeah, okay.
35 years ago.
Yeah.
And the FA, in their wisdom...
I know the FA are looking at the LFA.
In their wisdom, they came out with a statement saying, well, the South Indians aren't physically strong enough. This is 35 years ago. So
was that at that time?
Yeah, at that time, yeah. I'm 6'1", I would really, come on, seriously. You're saying that I'm not strong enough. But that was why they weren't breaking in. But this is
physical aspect.
Yeah, physicality wasn't strong enough. And that's the answer they gave in them days. So this has already been answered. Not answered. It's been questioned before.
Sure.
So this.
I mean, it's a rising concern why we're not seeing British South Asian games in top flight football. FA are definitely looking into it.
Yeah.
They've changed the diversity code. Very recently. After our shows and. They are bringing this in, and that's what Sportstalk and this platform actually does, because we want to give the youth added intelligence and hope on and off the pitch. Yeah. So you say we're not physicality side of it.
No, that's what they say.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that?
I'd say it was totally rubbish. I mean, I've always thought it's so. Your size doesn't matter. If you look at some of the best players in the world, look at Messi. How tall is he?
Not tall at all. Yeah, Maradona.
Yeah, Maradona.
God rest his soul.
You look at their football, not the physicality. And nowadays, even the academies, they look at 5, 6, or 7, 8-year-olds or whatever. They'll pick the biggest ones.
Okay, yeah.
At
that time, yeah.
Yeah, they go for it. But yeah, the shorter kids develop at different ages.
Sure.
Don't they?
Yeah. Well, they do,
yeah. When they get to 14, 15, they all pretty much end up being the same size or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Some are kind of stunting growth and they have growth spurs and stuff like that.
And acknowledging that sort of stuff as well. That he's got the football. He might get pushed off a ball because he's only tiny, but his football, you could see his football's right.
Yeah, centre of gravity.
Centre of gravity. But the fact is, these lads don't get a chance.
Yeah, and how does that make you feel, Mark? I mean, if the FA or the LFA at that time are saying, look, okay, that question's been answered and, talked about. And you're playing, I've seen your picture there, mate, and you've got a few grazes there. Looks like you're kind of a physical player.
Yeah. Actually, we were. No, but that's we grew up playing that way though. We had to play that.
So that did it kind of hit you back? Did it at that time?
Yeah, it was a bit insulting.
But yeah, that's what
you know
I mean.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it would be, wouldn't it? You're putting your hard work in.
Yeah.
You're waking up thinking, do you know what? I'm going into this game 100% today.
Yeah.
And you've proper feeling. And LFA says, oh, these guys ain't strong enough.
Strong enough. That was it. It's generally you can actually check it out. You know, Jimmy. I think Jimmy Carn should have mentioned this. It was around that era as well because Jimmy was part of the Sports Council and stuff.
At that time, obviously now continuing, he's a tutor for professional scouts
and all that,
so he's obviously taken it quite further down, hasn't he?
He actually took that on board. He was like, you know.
And he went on to play for Pakistan.
Yeah, international.
International cup. I mean, he kind of ignored the LFA side of it and said, you know what, no, we are strong enough, we are fit enough. So is that caused a damping effect on the British South Asians over the years? Because LFA are quite, you know, they're a governing body. And, you know, somebody from there says something like this.
Yeah, but that was, like I said, that was 35 years ago. But
now, I'm just talking in that era. The lads that are playing.
They got away with, come on, they got away with loads. I mean, the amount of racism was in football in them days as well, back in the day. You know, there's lots of things.
There's a lot of, you know, and you mentioned that as well, racism and fair qualification system and diversity being my number one agenda. That's surely had an impact in terms of the qualification process there.
I think
if you feel that there was racism at the time, and there's been a lot of racism cards being pulled out recently as well.
Well, the thing is, that's it. You didn't feel you didn't want to go further. You could have gone on to new coaching or things like that, junior level 1, level 2, level 3. But then to get to that, you'd have to go within that system again.
Yeah, so the kind of limelight, the main slices of the pie as such, weren't available as such.
Yeah, so it was one of them. But then you have to, depending on what level you're doing, then you
kind of taking the crumbs, aren't we? And that's all that's available.
It's available, So
does that have an impact on the kind of the hunger that you mentioned?
Well, the thing is, you were on the pitch.
Is there a correlation there? Is it linked in any way?
No, we were hungry on the pitch. That's an individual thing and a team thing. That we was irrespective. We played the way we played.
Yeah, so you guys were definitely hungry.
Yeah, So
I'm just thinking, it's kind of, when you see at the end of the tunnel, when you see there's light at the end of the tunnel, so to say, and the FA go and switch that light off. Yeah. Suddenly there's no light.
No light. But
so how did that make you feel?
I think that's as well. We didn't have as many opportunities to this sort of stuff. But the fact is, even nowadays, everybody thinks they've become a Premiership footballer.
Yeah. After a good 7-a-side game.
Yeah, and how many people actually break through to the Premiership? I mean, if you look at the number of foreign players they have in the top teams. How many English
pretty high.
Yeah.
Some of the teams have got all foreign players.
Exactly. Well, you serious no.
But that's the thing. There's hardly any English-born players coming through. We're talking about British South Asians. So how much of a shock do we have when you've got English lads?
It's getting smaller and smaller. But the thing is, everybody seems to think they're going to play for. Final point. We'll play for Premiership sides. You can actually make a pretty good living playing a couple of divisions lower.
Yeah, like the Championship, for example.
Championships,
and League One and stuff.
League Ones and everything, and that sort of stuff. And they don't realise you can still make a very good living enjoying what you're doing, even at that level.
So it's not just a case of top flight.
Yeah.
You aim for the best, don't you? You aim for the highest. And even if it doesn't work out, you kind of settle with, and then you're saying that still works as well.
But that's another way of getting into it then. Then you can work your way up through that system then, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So if you're playing in the Championship or even Division 1 or whatever it is now, you can actually move up through your own
hard graft. Hard grafting. Keep yourself mentally tuned. Because the mental aspect is huge, isn't it? You shape your mind and your body will follow kind of thing. So that's got to start upstairs first of all, and then you've got to have the gut, the determination, sheer hard work, drive. And then you kind of got to have to listen, and you've got to put all that to a side, and you've got to put your thinking hat on, like you say, because some are really good with their feet and really good with their agility and movement and endurance. Unfortunately, the brain ain't taking
it's not working on the same level.
It's kind of synchronized.
There's
got to be harmony, hasn't there?
There's got to be harmony between it all.
Unfortunately, we're not kind of seeing that.
So you just don't rely on just one ability. You know, just
you've got to be able to be well-rounded. So the youth, the kind of message, and leading to that point, Mal, if you will, would you be kind enough, please, mate? As we're always close to the end of the show. What kind of message from your experiences that you've learned earlier on and all the way through this career with your friends that the experiences that you've gained, what kind of message would you kind of finally drive home to our youth, or the senior players, or management aside, or individually? How would you kind of set it up for them?
As for the young players, enjoy what you're doing.
Enjoy the
first way. You've got to enjoy the football you play.
And enjoy anything you're doing.
Enjoy
as a matter of fact.
And then when you do something, give it 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Don't leave anything.
100%.
Just don't leave anything to chance.
Yeah. Whatever you're training, whatever you're doing, if you're playing a game, leave it on the pitch by the time you should be knackered by the time you come out.
Yeah, you should be absolutely.
Put everything in.
Give everything in. Would you agree with me that Mal, doubt is a disease?
Doubt is a disease because other people put doubt into you.
Yeah, is that a big aspect?
Yeah.
I say that because you say put everything in.
Yeah.
And when I'm looking on the flip side of it, I mean, why wouldn't one person put everything in? And is doubt,
you're right. Doubt can be the doubt within yourself, but other people can put that into you and tell you you're not good enough. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? You tell somebody they're not good enough,
and in the back of your mind, you've always got that spinning around in your head. So how do you kind of get rid of that?
Yeah, and then it's up to the managers,
coaches.
That's the psychology side of it.
Yeah, talking to them, believing in themselves. Excuse me. So make sure you're having fun.
Make sure you're having fun. Like I said, give it 100%.
You eliminate all doubt.
And come off with your knees scraped.
Yeah, make sure
you've got you've been
make sure your dry top that you started with is fully wet.
It's gone.
And if your socks ain't wet, then you're not working hard enough.
Exactly, you're not working hard enough. Because it should take you a week to recover.
Whenever I played and I felt my socks wet, then I thought, you know what, I must.
But you know when you roll them down, right to the end, last 10-15, you roll your socks down. This
is it. I'm ready now.
I'm ready now.
Excellent work. So, Marlies, look, it's been an absolute pleasure having you.
No, it's been fantastic, actually.
Thank you very much. Time always goes really, really fast, and I'm sure there's a lot more I want to talk to you. What kind of shout out do you want to give to the youth in Blackburn, in our local Great Harwood, Atkinson areas?
Nasabut, Big Latchy, shout out. Ali, Banktop.
Yeah, Ali, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, a lot of good work. Yeah. Is he a friend of yours as well?
Yeah, of course. Shoaib's a friend of mine. We're all friends.
Yeah, you're all in that, obviously. Yeah, we're all in that. It's a small world when it comes down to it, aren't you? But Muhammad Ali has been mentioned as well. He's put a lot of hard work in Banktop.
Yeah, Fiaz in Preston as well.
So, I'd like to give that
Nelson. So there's loads of players I could actually say.
Excuse me. So big shout out to Muhammad Ali over at Banktop for all his effort and his hard work. Please do continue, and I've always said this: transfer your skills and knowledge over.
Yeah.
I mean, the true power of knowledge is in its application and its implementation. Is it? You've got to be able to do that. And Muhammad Ali's doing a great job. You mentioned Fiaz once again. The same names keep propping up.
Well, they were quite influential in that Fiaz with Nelson Football Club and Banktop. But there was also Daddy, our manager actually. He got manager of the season. This season we did the treble. We did the treble twice in two. We did everything. We won everything.
Is that the league,
cups, everything?
And the tournaments,
everything
in between.
Yeah. And not so much the tournaments, but the league and stuff.
Yeah.
And Daddy was the guy who took all the subs, sorted out all the fines.
The unsung hero.
And we wouldn't have had a Wally Range without him. He's the one.
Who's that? Terry, is it?
Daddy.
Yeah. So a shout out to Terry.
Big shout out to him.
Mashallah, great work. Alhamdulillah, because of you doing all that, we're here today.
Yeah, we're here today, absolutely.
So it doesn't go unrecognised. UCTV Sportstalk provides this platform. It's your host Hussain Mahmood bringing you all the news and all the updates, and we are continuously learning, developing, and I hope our youth take on all the messages of today. Stay hungry. Keep it fun, enjoy what you're doing, and make sure you eliminate all doubt and find appropriate channels to actually, find the right words to the right people to find the right answers. Is that right, Mark?
Absolutely, yeah.
Any final messages for our viewers today?
No, I just hope you don't get any phone calls saying, who the hell do we see?
I'm joking.
He's talking rubbish.
No, I'm sure not, mate. Absolutely, it's been absolute. I think you've been on point with a lot of things actually. So I really do appreciate your advice and all your experiences coming forward. So thank you very much, Mal.
Brilliant, actually fantastic.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And please do keep involved. Keep tuned with us as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, it's coming to the end of the show, I'm afraid, my friends, and all my viewers also. Please continue to like, share, and on the media content that's being published on my fan page and UCTV on YouTube. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay blessed, and we'll catch you next Monday at 7 p.m. All the very best. Your host, Hussain Mahmood, signing.